All right. Well, after some issues, we finally were able to get our interview with some Soimul2002. So say hi, Soimul.
Hello, hello. I'm Soimul2002. I'm
Um,
an EU player since 2013.
yeah. So and you're in Romania.
Yeah, I'm in Romania, uh, and yeah, I'm Romania. I don't want to say so much stuff about myself.
That's fine. Well, it's kind of hard to do an
Yeah,
interview, but no, don't give up any personal information.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
ask you
yeah,
general stuff. So,
yeah.
as we were talking earlier before I got smart and hit the record button, just got started playing Watt. But how long ago?
It's 2013 in
2013.
February.
Yeah. And what got you started playing World of Tanks?
To be honest, I don't really much know, but I know that I saw just an ad or something, yeah, an ad on internet. I was like, I was interested in that game, and to be real honest, I still don't figure it out how I was still playing the game because now when I'm just wondering how I was not raging so much about the game because I was a child. I was stupid. I wasn't taking the game seriously. I wasn't um, paying my life. I was not the games were not part of my life at that moment, and I was not taking the game so serious. But eventually, it grew a passion for games, especially World of Tanks, and I've put so much money and time in this game that sometimes now I kinda not I'm not I regret that it is that it, she I regret that I put so much money in this game. I I fucking figured it out somehow to say this thing. Okay.
That's okay. That's all right. Um, yeah, I mean, especially for I'm assuming you're a student, or you were a student when you started. Uh, that it's not a game that you know if you don't have a lot of disposable income, it can become a very expensive game fairly quickly.
Yeah.
So, um, so what are the things that you like about World of Tanks?
Uh, like in the now the only thing that I enjoyed the most is the Storm Tiger event because it's the most fun that I had in this game because now in World of Tanks now it's just pay to win, too much pay to win. Camping is just to another level. Back in the days was just you weren't able to buy gold with credits, gold shells, premium shells with credits, and that thing was somehow changing the game because when you at that moment you don't need if you don't need to take aim at some weak spots, and then also Wargaming make so many pay to win tanks, which is just bullshit at this moment. And now I just I'm not going to pay work gaming not even a penny. I'm not going to buy anything, even if I got a 50% uh, uh,
Discount?
yeah, 50% for something for a tank. I'm still not going to put money in this game. I'm not seeing myself in the future playing this game.
That much, or you're not playing it at all?
Mm, I think that much. To be honest, in the future, I don't know what I'm going to do. But World of Tanks, I'm still going to play World of Tanks because even if it's in my eyes, World of Tanks is shit. If you just ask me, what do you think about World of Tanks? I'm like, shit, don't fucking play it. It's just too much pay to win and too hard to grind. I grind it to free to play. But uh, I'm I always keep coming to this game because there is something that uh, may maybe I'm bored to play other games, and I'm like, okay, let's try World of Tanks again. But there's something about World of Tanks because when you just see how good you are when you shut down an enemy, just you fucking annihilated him. It's fucking hilarious. It's just that feeling, but in cost of being against uh, toxic players with premium tanks which are way better than yours and they are camping. I don't know. It's not that worth, but yeah, it's still worth things, and it's that thing that you regret doing it, but you're still going to do it.
Mhm.
Which
I mean, I understand what you're saying. It's you know, you go back to when they changed premium shells from gold to credits, and I remember that was not real long after I started playing. And
oh
so I mean, when I started playing, yeah, it was expensive to use gold shells, right? And then they changed it to credits, and that did change the game. It changed the fact that anybody could shoot anything. All you had to do was have the
yeah,
credits. Um,
just auto aim at that tank, and he's going to die
yeah.
eventually.
Now you play. You've played some on the NA server, right? You have an NA
Yeah,
account too, right?
yeah.
So you say that there's a lot of camping on the EU server. Is that?
Mm,
I mean,
I mean, like the I don't kind of remember that much, but I remember that there are more people spamming with gold in those few games that I had. I just realized that there are so many players spamming with gold. Even I sometimes I'm spamming with gold when I don't need. But holy goddamn shit, they were just spamming it. Like I was with MT25 and there was a T3485M, and he was spamming with gold against a fucking light thing. Like, holy cutting shit, get alive, dude.
uh,
I
that
know
was
that you had a lot of credits, but come on, man. It's just such a pussy move to. I mean, like, okay, it's if you have fun, all right, have fun, but it's not that it's not nice to see that the opponent, the enemy, is spamming with gold.
but on the average game, I mean, do you see? Since you obviously play a lot more games on the European servers than you do on
Yeah,
the NA server, so when you say you see a lot of gold spamming, is that on both servers, the NA server, the European server?
I mean, like when I play the North American servers, I just play some amount of games on European servers. I mean, like sometimes I don't see gold, but it's just depending on what tank are you trying to. Because if you are like, if you try for type 4 heavy, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, they are only spamming with hit at me. Well,
Right.
yeah, you're fucking type 4 heavy. You're going to get spammed with hit. But
Mm-hmm.
when you're a light tank or a medium tank with paper armor, it's just like, why do you bother firing with gold? Because you're going to lose them. Like, you could shoot with AP, and you're still going to make more money, and that's a thing that bothers me sometimes.
Yeah. It's understandable. I mean, we see a lot of gold spamming here on the NA server, and honestly, in the games that I've played in the European server so far, and I haven't been playing upper tiers. I don't see as much gold spamming, and maybe that's just because I'm not
Yeah.
playing at the upper tiers yet. But outside of the gold spamming and the money grabbing, is there, what other things don't you like about World of Tanks?
um, uh, I was about to say artilleries, but artillery is its own in their own category. It's just like it's just artillery. We can't do shit about them. But one thing that I don't like is the mage making, because when you are trying to like an example, I was trying to do the second mark with my T3485M, and I wasn't able to progress that much because I was getting in tier 8 matchmaking, and I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, why? Why do you do this to me, Wargaming? Like, yeah, the matchmaking, because back in the days, I don't pretty much remember that well how was the matchmaking, because I know that when I was playing with my light tanks, I was with three tiers up level up the battle, and it was not that bad because it's a light tank. You with a light tank you only need to do to spot and the other, and but if you go even even back in the past, at that moment I don't know, it was still uh, in beta or something like that. But now I will run and the 357 matchmaking. It's just, yeah, 357. Like when I just see that I'm bottom tier, I'm like, okay, this is 357 for sure. And when I'm checking it, yeah, wargaming. Uh, this is going to be hell.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know, obviously when we both first started, you could have tier tens and all sorts of different games. You had a whole bunch of different tiers, and but the lights at that time were able to do a lot more than they can now. Obviously, when you throw in the mediums that basically have view range of the whole map, and hell, even
Yeah.
some heavies can get good view range. It changes the whole game. Yeah.
And
Well,
if we talk about, if I started talking about a little bit of artillery, why? Yeah, I like that they put a limit of how many artilleries to be in a game. Only three in a team, but even three are too much. Only two, it will be perfect, because when you just see three artilleries on Malinovka, as an example of Prokhorovka, it's just going to be hell, especially if you're with a heavy tank or medium tank, not something to sit in the push or a light tank to spot, which is fucking shit.
no,
Because when I,
you're
let's
right.
say,
I mean, you're right. I mean, I think whenever I get into a game with three artillery, it's just like, okay, grab your shorts because here it comes. you know,
yeah,
whereas with one or two, it gives you a much more even fighting. And now I like
there's
artillery.
chance to fight, because if you're the unlucky one, all of the three artilleries are going to aim at you, and you're going to be perma stand for the whole match
Right,
until you fucking die.
right.
And if the stand, if the thing about the stun thing, if it will be removed, it will make it a little bit better, because even now artillery is like object 261 reload so fast, but at least if the stun will be gone, it couldn't do a stun, it will be better, because being stunned is such a pain in the ass, because if you heal your crew to not be stunned, and then after the next shot comes and your crew dies, you're like, ah, come on, man! I just used my medkit to not being stunned, and now I have a crew member dead because of it. Which this thing happened to me so many times.
Now you sent me a lot of videos of your ELC Even 90. Is that like your favorite tank?
Uh, yeah, because first thing first, it's one small boy is just basically a joke tank. It's so small, and the gun is not that threatening to begin with. But when you know how to use the mobility, the camo, and the gun, it's going to be so much perfect. But not against like now against wheels. It's going to be hell. The wheels fucking ripped my fun out of this tank at one moment, because in every match I was against a Lynx or an EPR, and I'm like, okay, let's see what I'm going to do before I'm going to get raped by that like by that wheel tank, which
So, am I understanding correctly that the wheeled tanks have taken away your fun in the ELC?
sometimes, yeah, it's just when there's three like things, because sometimes are going to be three like things in one game, even more, and when you just see that all of them are like have a gun which HE pen is very high, like the Black Bulldog, Black Dog, EPRs are just sucking the fun out of this thing in that match.
Yeah, yeah, I can. So would
And
you say that? Oh, go ahead.
and when I was trying to do my second mark, all of these problems with the HE and the vehicle tanks was just causing I wasn't able to do shits because of it.
Yeah. Well, I now would you say that the what is your least favorite tank or the tank that you don't want to run into?
I don't want the thing not that I don't want to run into. Like I don't have one. It depends on the game. If with what the tank I mean. Like I to be honest, I don't have one. If I have like one tank that is the most broken one at some tier, I say that at the beginning the defender was just too much bullshit. But nowadays you just understand that it's wargaming and they don't care about balancing tanks, and you just need to press the 2 key to kill that shit. Or that the time when they made IS-3A an auto reloader tank, that was like the peak of it. Like, yeah, Wargaming doesn't give a shit about rebalancing tanks and just wants money, especially putting the IS-3A in loot boxes was just it was so much bullshit because you have a chance to get a broken tank, premium tank.
Yeah.
And as I said, I don't have more dislike to tank because yeah, sometimes some things when I play with them, I just suck in it, but others don't suck. Maybe it's just the tank that just sucks because like KV4, it's not such a good tank nowadays.
Right.
It was good in pack, but now because how many tanks have been added to the game, it's just for it's not even worth to grind with the IS4. I want to see what they are going to do to buff the IS4 line.
Right.
But now they because one fun fact, I when there was the winter thing with the winter events, I have a 50% coupon on KV4, and because at that moment I wanted to go on the IS4 line to get the KV4 and SD1 because SD1 I if I'm now I would like to get the SD1, but because the amount of overpowered tanks that are now in this game, and because you can just spam with premium shells is even more. It's not worth getting the KV4. You only getting the KV4 for doing the 3 marks of excellence. That's the only reason that I will see someone playing the KV4.
Right. No, no, and for that instance, the IS4, when I first got it, it was a fairly tough tank. But I mean, by the time that I had ground my way to it, it was it seemed like a paper tiger.
Yeah.
But that's the advent of the power creep. I mean, there's so many tanks that we started off with that were out there that have been power creeped, and now again, you find yourself struggling to get to a tank, and then by the time you get there, you're behind the curve, right?
Yeah, especially this happened to me. My first line, which I was playing with, it was the E5 line
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know, but I wanted that E5, and after I got to the E5, the nerf hit him, and I was like, I just spent part of my life for this tank, and now it's shit. Like I
Yeah.
struggled with the M103 because that thing is it doesn't have any armor. One M103 is just paper almost.
What would you? I mean, obviously you're a good player. What would be your advice to you know some of our some of the viewers and who may not be as good as you or struggling with tanks? I mean, you play the ELC even 90 quite a bit. I mean, what advice can you give a player on that?
On to play the ELC,
Yeah.
like avoid if you're going to play with the ELC and you're going to want to play it with the ELC even better. At the first of the match, take a good look at the enemy list if they got the what light things, because after the light things are gone, the enemy light things, the whole map is yours almost. Like yeah, the whole map is yours because you can go anywhere and the light things are not going to chase you. And like I remember on sometimes on the replays that I've sent you on Prokorovka, I wasn't moving into the bushes until the enemy light tanks, all of them are dead. Because if they are one light tank still in the bushes and I'm moving, it's just going to blow my camo off. And so yeah, take a good look at the beginning of the match at what tanks they have. If they have wheels, just stay uh, as far as for them, because with a gun of DLC, which is not very accurate, you're not all. Yeah, you may be lucky to hit him 3 times, but after that, you're going to die.
Yeah.
If you don't have any help from your team, he's just going to ram you and getting his he shell up your ass. Like I, because when I played with the links when I played it, I fight I fight against an ELC and I just fucking loaded the HE shell and I killed his crew before I could kill his tank,
True.
which was like, okay, this is bullshit. This tank is bullshit.
Wow. Okay. So you don't have a lot of good things to say about wheeled vehicles. Is that the general opinion on the?
Like I wasn't going to play with with the wheeled vehicles because I wouldn't want speed against few range, because I will still want few range and camo like the ELC.
Right.
Because if you but the wheeled vehicles, yeah, I'm not going to lie, they were fun, especially the tier 6 to 1, the tier 6 and the tier 8. They were so much fun. I enjoyed that. But other the guys that I killed, maybe they didn't enjoy. That's the thing, because when you play with an overpowered tank, you enjoy the game because you fucking smash their power, their tanks. You just destroy their whole tank in one. But
Mhm.
and you're having fun. But for the prize for you having fun was his uh, I think you got the idea, because it's good against you have fun, but guy the the guy that you killed didn't enjoy that, especially with the ammo racks, because when you get a one hit ammo rack, you're going to be pretty pissed off.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
when you uh, kill someone with an one shot ammo rack, you're going to enjoy that moment so goddamn much. And that's the thing, because especially when you're low HP and you're still getting ammo rack, at that moment you can get mad because you're normally would still going to die, and you fucking died in such a spectacular way getting ammo rack. And that's the only thing that I like about ammo racks, because when you die with so much low HP and just like, yeah, I got my ass ripped off.
So any last words for our viewers? Words of
Uh,
advice? Anything else?
So much fast. Don't try to put so much money in this game. This is like the first thing I will say to anyone else about this game, because this game it's just too much pay to win, and I'm not going to play this game as I do in the back, because I'm not going to put that much time in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Second, don't try to get mad because of this game. Every games are going to be shit. I'm getting mad in other games because I like them very much, but in this game, because I don't pretty much like it, when I just have a bad match, so two, three bad matches, I'm like, okay, it's time to leave this game. I don't want to get mad because of this game.
Um, uh,
And always find a second game to play, because to be real honest, also was thinking that I'm going to play World of Tanks for the rest of my life, but that was such a big joke for me, because I'm enjoying other games more, but I'm still coming back at World of Tanks, and I I think I will never um, drop World of Tanks, because it's the thing that comes back again and again and again, and because they still update the game so much, there's still so much stuff, because especially in this event, Storm Tiger, it's the much, as I said at the beginning of the video, I think it's so much fun playing with this tank, because it's you have so much speed, you have a big ass gun, and everyone is just acting like retarded. And that's one thing that I really like about this game mode, because normally in a match, if you're doing something retarded, most likely someone in your team is going to be saying, "No, kill yourself, delete the game." Like this is like the things that you're going to hear from player in your team, because even I do this type of things. I say that, what the fuck did you just do, you fucking noob? Because I'm getting triggered because of this game, and I nowadays I realize that this game is not that good. And in fact, as I said, I don't know how I was playing this game with such enjoyment. Uh, this game, yeah,
you don't know how you were playing it with such enjoyment before because now
yeah,
it triggers
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
And now,
sage advice. Sage advice. So I appreciate you. Finally we being able to work out our
yeah,
timing here.
yeah, this to offer 1 month to
Well,
take
yeah.
to make this video.
Yeah, it's like a 16-hour time difference between the two of us. So your day's winding down as mine's just getting started. So, but I appreciate you taking the time and keep sending me those videos as you play.
Yeah.
And thanks for platooning with me yesterday. That was a lot of fun.
I was trying my best to not act like stupid, like trying my best to show off my skills.
Well, you don't have to worry about that because I
Yeah.
was screwing up enough for both of us. So, but thanks again for doing this, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. And
Yeah.
you know, I guess
It was.
we'll
It was my glad to also do this thing. It was my first time talking about this game, and it's going to take part in a video. It's like my first video on YouTube,
yeah.
and it was interesting. I'm going to try to play a little bit more World of Tanks when updates are going to come out, because I'm still looking for some spicy things, because the thing about the Storm Tiger is going to be it's going to be deleted. I don't know how to say it otherwise. It's going to be deleted in some days, and it's going to be a real let down, because this was so much fun that I had in the last years of World of Tanks.
Yeah, yep, I agree. I agree. All right, Shmuel. Well, you take care, and
Yes, take care of you.
all right. And again,
Yes,
thank you.
yeah. See ya.
See you later.